Welcome beloved, this is the continuity of my testimony. My enemy wanted me to die but they have failed, still they won't give up and they continue to attack me in order to destroy me. When I arrive in Europe I immediately join the Ministry of Spiritual Warfare. As you know, I came to Europe for marriage. In African culture, when a woman enters the marital life, people expect her to get pregnant and give birth to children. Given that I was not getting pregnant, I began to see the reaction. My husband began to put pressure on me, saying that I don't want to give birth. I was under pressure. One day I was at home in the presence of God when suddenly I heard a child crying. I love children so much that I cannot bear to see a child suffering. As I was hearing the voice of that child crying, I felt that he was helpless, but I did not know what was the meaning of all this. 2 days after this phenomena, I was in God's presence when the Lord Jesus transported my spirit in the marine world, where I saw a baby who was beneath the water. I liked him because he was really beautiful. I said, Lord, the child is so beautiful but he is caught up and stuck under the root of the tree underwater. I wanted to get the child and save him. Immediately I heard the voice of the Lord saying to me, Fistine, the child that you see is yours, it is your child, but he is stuck underwater in captivity. I said, Lord, the child is beautiful and I would like to save him because I like him. Jesus said, there is a bondage of bands in your life. Then the Lord gave me the passage of Exodus that say, you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from among you. It was night when the Lord instructed me to pray so that the wire of sterility that is in me will come out. It was when I was praying that the Lord instructed me to introduce my hand in my mouth. I did as instructed by the Lord. As a result, I saw a wire coming out of my mouth. It took 30 minutes to take it out, and when it came out completely I could feel inside my womb as if something was cut off. 2 months after this deliverance prayer I got pregnant, but I did not know that I was pregnant. The moment I got pregnant, another battle arose in my life. The devil, who never wanted me to have a child, seeing that he was defeated, has plotted to kill the child. It was either me or the child. One of us was supposed to die. I was attending spiritual warfare ministry, but the snake who was fighting me wanted to kill the child, and everybody knew about my battle and they supported me. I was in the church in every service and I don't miss the church. Right after getting pregnant I began to feel pain in the womb. It was so painful that I was crawling on the floor and crying. It was a Tuesday, which was the day of intercession in the church. I sent my husband to the church with a prayer point, for I could not come, so that the assembly would pray for me. Usually my husband don't go to church. Given that I was pregnant and I was in pain, he went and asked the people in the intercession to pray for me. We had helpful leaders who were available to support us, like Elder Jean Fredo and Elder Emmanuel. These elders were surprised to see that I missed the intercession. They were also surprised to see my husband for the first time in the intercession. My husband said to them, there is no problem, but Fistine has a little pain in the womb. The elders Frederick say to my husband, your wife is so faithful and consistent that she never missed the intercession service. If she has not come, that means there is a problem. We don't believe that a little pain will stop her from coming to church. We think there is a serious issue for her to miss the church. We must go and check what is going on and pray for her. Immediately the elder and other leader took the car and came to pay me visit at home. They found me in pain, crawling on the floor. Men of God prayed for me and they sent me to the hospital. After examination the doctor could not find anything. Then we went to another hospital in the city where doctors said the pain was due to a new pregnancy. The truth is that the devil was trying to kill me or the baby. Days later I was getting ready to go to church for intercession when the Lord showed me a vision, in which I saw that I fell to the ground and I was laying in the boulevard bleeding. The Lord said to me, Fistine, today you will not attend the intercession service in the church, because there will be a walkout and protestation in the main boulevard of the city. Between the protester and the police security force there will be altercation. If you go out in the street, the people that are protesting will bump onto you when you will be trying to get the bus, and you will collapse to the ground, and you may lose the baby. On that day I pray at home and I avoided going to church thanks to this revelation, for God speaks in one way, and in two, though man does not perceive it. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on men, while they slumber on their beds, Then he opens the ears of men and terrifies them with warnings. However, people in the church were surprised by my absence because I never missed the intercession service in the church. After the service, people started to call and asked me why I did not come. I told them about the revelation and the instruction of the Lord not to come to church on that day. They said, "You really heard the voice of the Lord because there was protest and disorder in the city. You did well not to come. God has preserved you." I knew that the devil was after my life and the child, and it was through my husband that the devil entered. We were at home, we were having a discussion and argument when my husband got angry and he rose me up and he threw me to the ground, yet I was 6 months pregnant. When I fell to the ground, the baby in the womb rolled around many times. I mean, his feet were where his head was supposed to be. I was regularly going to the hospital, but they were failing to notice it until the delivery day. The midwife who was supposed to help me checked my file and said that in my fold everything seemed to be okay. But it was when they did further examination that they noticed that things were not fine. I saw the midwife coming to console me. She said to me, "I cannot help you to deliver anymore, but a doctor will come to help you deliver the baby. In fact, he will do the cesarean surgery." When the doctor came, I refused the cesarean intervention. I said no. Later the doctor took me to the second examination. During the examination they saw the baby is seating and there is no way for him to come out. On top of that, the baby had poo inside the womb and the water in the womb was rising and had reached around the baby neck. The baby was in risk of drinking water and dying. When the doctor saw this, he was in panic, and he took me quickly to the operation room and did the intervention, and the baby was saved. When I was in the hospital, I had no family support and no friend around, and I had a problem with the phone that I left at home, and I could not contact the people in the church to inform them about my situation. 3 days after the delivery, my neighbor brought me the phone that I left at home. I was able to call my mother in the faith, especially Mama Daniel. She was upset that she did not know about the situation and the pain I was going through. She came to the hospital and she prayed for the child and destroyed the work of the enemy. She consoled me. Actually, God had put loving and kind people around me. People in this church were my family. They supported me and stood by me. They were a real family. They were coming to visit me with love, especially Jean, Freddie and Emmanuel. Sometime later, the enemy who tried and failed to kill me and the child attacked me with sickness. I was diagnosed with hepatitis B. The doctor said that this sickness was very dangerous and people died because of this sickness. I was discouraged by their word. I told the doctor, "I came here to know what sickness is disturbing me. I don't want to hear you telling me that I will die or whatever." I promised them that I have Jesus Christ and I am not coming back. Jesus will heal me. When I had returned home, I took 5 days of prayer. I mean 5 days of night vigil. I was not sleeping and I prayed for 5 nights, depriving myself from sleep. I said, "Lord, I believe that you can heal me, and when you heal me, allow me to sleep," because I was not able to sleep. I was praying in the night between Friday and Saturday when I slept very well for the first time. Up to today that sickness was gone and I was healed. In 2001 there was war in my life. I was hospitalized. I had something in my womb that was swollen like cyst. I did not like to tell my problem to people unless I know your spiritual identity. I only spoke of this situation to the deacon. When I went to the doctor that was dealing with me, a Jew in the name of John Peter, he placed my name in emergency case in this hospital of Rafan. Every time I call or come to this hospital, I was supposed to be the priority. When I called the office of the doctor, they rushed an ambulance that took me and the child. When I arrived in this hospital, I was operated. Beloved, this was suffering that I had to go through. It was tough, but the Lord allowed it, and He was with me. During the surgical intervention, something happened. The doctor realized that the sedation injection was not working and I was crying in pain. Imagine being operated without sedation, such pain. The doctor tried hard to administer sedation, but it was not working. In the meantime, I was crying. The doctor said, "Since I began this profession, I have never seen this. I don't understand what is happening." As the operation continued, I passed out because of pain. I heard the doctor asking his aide what time was it and how long the surgery lasted. While they were talking, I went out of my body and I died, yet I could see the doctor and his aide around my body. They were in panicking because I was gone. I was already outside my body in another dimension. I came to realize that time in our dimension is different from time in the afterlife. I thought I spent 30 minutes beyond the grave, but it was when I came back that I realized that I was dead for 5 hours. The doctor was monitoring my situation while I was out of my body, and then I saw a huge light before me. Then I heard a voice emerging from the light and asking me, "Fistine, where are you going?" I did not know how to answer this question. The Lord said to me, "Fistine, your operation was a big problem, but I have intervened to make it a little problem. Because your mission on the earth is not finished yet, you have to go back to earth." I said, "Lord, I have suffered so much, I don't need to go back. I want to rest with you, and I don't understand the mission you are talking about because I do nothing in the church. I even don't know what I am doing on the earth." Despite the fact that in the church I was in the intercession group, I still did not know what was my mission. I was also working in protocol service. When the Lord told me to go back, I thought about my child who was still 5 years old. I was wondering who will take care of my child, yet in my inside I wanted to go to be with the Lord. At 30 I returned to my body. I was taken from the surgery to my room. There was a lot of battle. When I returned to my body, I saw that there was another entity in my room who was fighting me and assaulting me. I could not eat because after the operation one has to go to the toilet, but I could not go to the toilet from Wednesday to Saturday, therefore I could not eat. But there was this demonic entity fighting me, but no one could see him. I prayed to the Lord and I said, "You have not retrained me in the body so that I will suffer. Today you must liberate me." I was battling against this spirit who managed to throw me on the ground. I rose up, fought and against him, and by God's grace I overcame this entity in the toilet. I was tired when I came out of the toilet, but no one could hear me. When I opened the toilet door, the carer came and said, "I could hear people inside the toilet, but I could not realize that it was you." She was actually bewitched by the enemy. The nurse who were in my ward were avoiding to call the doctor, who was in panic over my situation, which was critical. Later on Saturday, when I went to the toilet, the doctor came to pay me a visit. When the doctor, who was a Jew, came to check me and saw that I was reading the Bible, he asked me, "Which book are you reading? Are you Christian?" I said, "It's the Bible." He said to me, "In all your life, you must hang on that book. Do not abandon this book. This book has saved you. You have come from far. You know that I was in panic over your condition, but your God has saved you. Every time there is a call from your room, I am in fear." After this deliverance, I met the man of God, Pastor Jose, and we began to do prayer.